Welcome to Cameron House Marina. I'm Ruben from Marine Sales Scotland. This is a 2015 Commission 16 Bavaria Sport 400 Coupe powered by twin Volvo Penta D6 400 horsepower diesel engines. Being the exhibitor at the Southampton Boat Show on the Bavaria stand in 2015, she is crammed with unrivaled extras that include, for example, a hydraulic high-low swim platform, Webasto heater, Webasto reverse cycle air conditioning, satellite TV, an onboard generator and a Volvo Aquamatic joystick. It was actually my own personal family that bought this boat back in 2016 and I've owned it for 7 years exclusively on the fresh water. She was our 5th change of boat within the space of a year and she suited all of our boating requirements until we retired from boating in early 2023. One of the best apertures to really absorb the grandeur, the beam of the boat and the scale of this is from the starboard side quarter looking in all the way up to the front. Glass sliding trifold patio doors separate the inside cockpit from the outside. That also keeps the rain out, while that big opening sunroof lets the sunshine beam in on a nice warm summer's day. You've got full teak walk round up round the bow, foredeck cushions on the front and your controls for the electric anchor winch. And because this was the first Sport 400 to be produced, it was the prime example at the Southampton Boat Show. Now that means, for those of you who know a little bit about boats and their marketing and the promotion, that means that this was heavily spec'd. I've never come across one with as much spec as this. In fact, I've only really come across 3 in my lifetime, of which 2 were down south. Now, it has the full med spec and it also has your full UK domestic spec as well. That starts with our passerelle. That will then hide itself within that stainless steel locker there. If we stand on the platform, we can look back. This is a high-low platform, so it will lower into the water. The centrepiece backrest of the U-shape will drop down. With that, the table is hydraulic high-low. You can lower the teak table down, put filler cushions in there. They have backrests and that means you can enjoy the sunshine when it beams in on the stern. The fixed control for the high-low platform is on the port side. Here on the starboard we have our transom hot and cold shower. The passerelle lives in the stainless steel box. Up on the roof is the Intellian satellite track vision TV dome. You can link that to your Sky box that we have down there to watch Sky Television, VHF aerial and also all-round white nav light. So as you saw, the table is hydraulic high-low. We'll go up and down. It is real genuine teak, and then you have built into it 3 cup holders. You'll get 7 or 8 round the aft section of the cockpit here. The canvas will all come off as well should you want it to, and then you've got doors or grates to both port and starboard to stop any of your little ones or your pets from running out unexpectedly onto the back. You can gain access to the storage through lifting up these back sections of the cushions, or you can also access through the back locker there. Then getting up onto the bow, just lift this section of the canvas up and that gives you access to your full walk round. Tri-folding glass sliding patio doors which separate inner and outer cockpit, but it is all on one level. As you can see, we were very fastidious with the boat. It was a no shoe premises in here and that keeps the decks nice, clean and scratch free. Let's take a look inside. So running along the port side horizontally is the back bench, and just in front of that we have our table with a split fold option. This is an interchangeable dinette seat. You can also then flip it forward and it joins in with the chaise lounge and turns that into a double navigator. So you've got a double helm and a double navigator seat. There's mood lighting that comes in from under the eaves, and then you have your down white spotlights. Webasto heater that blows warm air through this, so you can seal off this entire area. I'll show you that in a minute. And then your Fusion stereo speakers, one on either side of the radar arch. Now if I nip in here along the back bench and I sit down, I'm facing the cockpit wet bar. We then, when it's time to eat and someone has served up a spot of lunch or dinner, flip the table across and that gives you plenty of space to lean on and to enjoy your Michelin star meal cooked up by the onboard chef. Now if we slide these then along, we still have a great view of what's behind us when we're underway, but then once the roof is shut, and I'll show you that in a minute, we can completely segregate ourselves from A, engine noise, and B, most importantly, the harsh elements that may sort of come your way when you are navigating and cruising through the seas. cockpit wet bar consists of a never used before electric grill. Just turns on with the touch of a button. You can see the indicator light comes on and it heats up very, very quickly. You can see it already just coming on. Our cold water enamel sink. Bottle storage in this side, and then on this side is the cockpit fridge. Now I always bang on about, you can tell a lot about the condition of a boat, the hidden condition of a boat, by the state of the fridge, and that is pitch perfect. In here is a small freezer compartment as well. We'll close that over. Now, I mentioned that navigator seat, how it is interchangeable. Simply, and again, you can just do it with one hand, it's so easy. You turn it round, lift it up, and like that, now you have your fixed chaise lounge, also your fixed navigator seat, 2 on this side, and you can get another 2 on this side as well. With the sunroof open, it is very popular amongst the ladies. They can come up here, they've got their cup holders for the gin, and you can lie and look out through the sunroof. Top up your tan grey skies today, unfortunately. No chance of any UV rays. And then if we stand on this raised platform, look out over the bow, excellent views out, looking at the bow wave, and then you've got your 4-deck sunbathing cushion up there as well. Where the boat comes into a bit of a realm of its own is with its spec. So a lot of that is mounted here at the helm position. We've got electric steering, we've got a bow thruster, we have Garmin Autopilot, our Webasto warm air reverse cycle air conditioning, and then there is a standalone warm air unit down below. We've got a Garmin touchscreen GPS and also plotter. You can see that has the Navionics card in it too. I'll just shut the roof across with the press of that button there. That will come across, just give it a moment or two. And then we've got our depth finder on the Volvo EVC control. Both of them will contain the depth. Electric throttles, VHF, and then it has a Volvo Aquamatic joystick control, so that makes manoeuvring very, very simple for a beginner. A beginner could really park this boat. Trim tabs just down below, underwater lights and LED courtesy lights that run round the bow. A control for the high-low swim platform. Electric anchor winch is controlled by here, and then the Fusion stereo control, 1 of 2. You have another control just down below. So that is it, completely sealed to the elements. You can see we've got the roof shut here, we've got the glass sliding patio doors at the back shut, still really nice, bright and arid, and the boat, I hope it comes across this way, is in mint condition. Let's take a little look downstairs. So the joinery colour is a very natural hybrid between the light ash that you see on a lot of these Bavarias and also the dark walnut that you come across slightly less. The black, gloss black finish of the overhead lockers works really well with the matte black effect of the worktop in the galley. On the port side we have our U-shape. That is all focused around the table. Clearly the table then drops on a high-low basis, on a hydraulic basis. You put in your filler cushions here, you can use that as a double berth, but the television is also on a swing arm that will swing round, means you can drop that down, put your filler cushions in, sit up with your feet and watch a spot of television in the evening times. Now these overhead lockers are huge, they make storage and access really, really easy and simple. You also then have more underneath each of these individual cushions here. Now when we look at the spec of the boat, I keep banging on about how well spec this is. Up against the bulkhead here, we've got our Webasto warm air heating system. That's the control for it. A generator, start, stop, and control unit. Then your Fusion infotainment just down below. 230 volt sockets there, 12 volt socket underneath that. Shelves up the back here, and look at that. They use full beam of the boat down here, so you can see panoramic window from the port side straight away to panoramic window on the starboard. The carpets are removable if you want to just expose the bare floor down below. That also means you can take them away if you want to get them nice and cleaned up. Everything on the boat is just in such pristine condition. It really does view in real life exactly how it comes across on the video. So if we sit back here, we can look aft. On the right hand side we have the aft cabin entrance. That there directly in front of you now is the heads, and that clearly would be the galley. So let's take a little look at the galley while we're here. We have our hot and cold stainless steel sink, another smaller dishes sink. The pantry also has a small 230 volt socket with a waterproof cover just in there, and then our electric twin burning hob. Now remember, because we do have the generator on board, we can at all times when we're out at sea use our electric cookers and also the microwave oven. The Intellian satellite that runs off the 230 volt, that is just tucked in here. And then the skybox is fitted just above this shelf. Going down underneath the cooker, we have another fridge, small freezer compartment as well, again in mint condition. Things like cutlery storage here as well, and then we've got our trash receptacle just underneath the actual sink itself. Down lighting, which really accents the features and the design on the Bavaria. Up lighting again, as you can see, just coming up from the overhead lockers, all of which is controlled by the switches here. You can dim the top lights as well if you want to set the ambience, wee bit of George Michael, Careless Whisper, and then you can turn the lights down nice and low. Let's move forward into the forward cabin. Now this is probably going to be the master cabin. You've got a double berth, it's on a slightly raised platform. Again, you've got that mood lighting coming down below, and you can see your vent for the onboard Webasto heater. You've got a Fusion stereo control because there's speakers that actually come out from underneath each side of the raised platform, and then you've got your own Webasto reverse cycle aircon control module in here, and then twin 230-volt sockets as well. Again, look, panoramic windows, so as you rise in the morning, if you don't want to watch the television on board, that is fitted with a FreeSat box just down below. Just literally peek out and take in the views of the water from each of the hull side windows. You then have your blinds, which you can see here will just simply come down at night time to block out the light. Hanging locker feature here on the port side, some shelves as well, and then exactly the same on the starboard, but no hanging locker feature, just shelves and shelves only. Individual reading lights for his and hers, or him and her, and then if we look up at the bed, let's sit up at the top, look back, you get a great idea of just how big and roomy this cabin is, and it feels very, very airy as well with that big skylight. Moving backwards into the heads, so we've got an electric flush sea toilet. There's a waste tank fitted to the boat as well. We've got laundry storage in there, hot and cold water in the enamel sink. Above we have two cabinets, his and hers, and then a separate shower compartment, so we can just literally pull the lock up, it slides across, and it stops the head from getting soaked when someone takes a shower on board. Automatic shower sump, and then a seat if you find yourself a wee bit tired while you're in the shower. Perfect. We'll have a peek as well into the aft cabin. If we press this, that comes out, and that is your shoe storage. Just above that is a shelf, and then you've got the same just under there, using that right now to store some cushions. We've got our light switches here, more shelves, look at all the storage that you have. And then this actually is a triple cabin, because although we've got our two fixed singles now, stereo control here as well, down lights and reading lights up at the back, again another television with a FreeSat box, loads of storage here. And so you can actually take the backrests off. That turns that into another berth, and then that turns this into a nice and large double. Blatantly obvious with the contrasting colours there, just how much width, extra width that gives you. And also with the removal of the backrest, look at how much extra space you get here on the chaise lounge. So it's been tried and tested. You can get a 6'4" adult to lie down very comfortably on that, and there's still a little bit more space to go. Perfect this as well. Think about it, if you've got a young family, if you've got teenage kids, and the kids need their own social area, their own space, this is almost like a mini saloon, especially with the television set up there. They can come down here, you aren't getting in each other's way, you're not getting in each other's space. The kids are down here, but they are literally just right next to you, so you can still get that meaningful family time. And it all adds to that real genuine liveaboard quality that you get from this boat. It's super practical, it's super comfortable, it has every single last option that you would need to effectively feel like you're still back in your house. If it was a flat in London, it'd be £1 million. Let's start the bidding at £1 million. A pair of twin Volvo Penta D6 400 horsepower diesel engines. The standard option, if it wasn't petrols, and this, if you went for the diesel option, the standard was the D4 300, but that is severely underpowered. These are the engines of choice. That there is your onboard generator. 150 hours used, of which all have been exclusively in the freshwater, serviced by the Volvo dealer and then by us, by Marine Sales Scotland in-house. A truly life-changing addition to the family, having this boat, owning this boat. We had 4 boats previously within the space of a year prior to purchasing this. We just couldn't quite get the right fit, but this satisfied absolutely everything. With the glass sliding patio doors, all the spec, it gives you that little bit more sustainability offshore when you're out in the water. You can do more things with it, and we never really understood just how much joy, how much fun, how much pleasure you can get out of a boat. Just all we had to do was go that little bit bigger into one of these. As you can see, we've cherished it like a member, a living, breathing member of the family, and I'm super excited for it to go to a brand new home. I'm Ruben from Marine Sail Scotland, where fun in the water begins.